Ola Pencher Sanje Drupa Sho Sanje Chuda Soji Cho Shancha Padu Dana Chasum She Dapri Chishi Jive Sola Owen Sanje Drupa Sho Sanje Chuda Soji Cho Shancha Padu Dana Chasum She Dapri Yeah. How's it? How's it?
It's working.
It's working?
Yeah.
Good. Very good job. He's just holding, checking. Good.
I shut one of them off.
Not too hot.
That one, if I put that back on, I think it'll stop working.
Really?
Yeah.
Mhm.
No, I think there's not enough refrigerant in it.
Oh. Anyway, it's working. Now you go to that. Comfortable? That's good. So good morning, Sarah and Amy, Ron. Some new people showing up.
Good morning, Geshe.
Good morning, gracias. Hey. Good? Comfortable? Very comfortable or a little bit comfortable?
On a scale from 1 to 10.
Spoken like a true nurse.
Sad face or the happy face?
They always say that the doctors knows that. What do you tell you? What number? Okay, anyway, it's going to move. Do a little meditation, okay? Now, feel comfortable as much as you can. Physically, mentally. And just awareness or relax your head. And then your right shoulder. The left shoulder. Upper back. Lower back. Both legs. And the feet. And your chest. Somewhere. Relax all muscles and bones. Your mind. start doing meditation. Breathe in and out. When you breathe in also, bring in all the oxygens. When you bring out all the sickness, disease, emotions, bring out, will come out like black smoke, come out your nose, go out. In awareness, your own breathe in and out. Now visualization from you, Buddha's image. In Buddha's form. It's not like solid, like a real living Buddha. Around there also Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, looking for us, smiling face. The holding that Dharma dress, compose themselves. But around us also all the mother sentient beings. And coming back, take refuge, Buddha, Dharma, Sangha. First, we have fear and trust or faith, because we recognize daily life. Some people are always some things are not working as we wish. Therefore, we don't want that anymore. In order to be free from that, we need to take refuge, Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, and come back, awareness, Buddha's image from you, to focus on taking refuge, Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, until enlightenment. And that thought, keep connection to Buddha's image. Keep that thought, aware that thought, recognize that object, become honest. Keep thought, stay on that thought. then we feel all the Buddhas, Bodhisattvas also accept for them to get the refuge for us. Yes. Good morning. How's meditation? This is how to meditation of refuge. Day or night, every morning, a little bit of meditation to refuge. The things to familiarize for our mind, the skin. And also we recite the after Kurukulla, receive the blessings from the refuge, and also the refuge will still are ever with us. Those things, put our mind more connection with our daily life. So we don't really think that, then it becomes a little bit far away. Example, we have the personal connection. We don't talk, we don't connection, then we become a little far away, right? You always talk, keep touch, then keep more, friendship. Is that right? Even the person in order to keep good relationship, you need to keep connection. Right? Not something you really need that day. That last. I'm not good at my family is very intimate. They don't really talk. When they need something, then they call me. That's too late. This is all of us. Sometimes the kids also they go away from the parents and they're not able to stand on their own feet, and they take refuge for parents. It's okay, but it's too late. For us also, we take refuge Buddha Dharma Sangha. Something not going well, something. Then we say, okay, I want to pray. Oh, tomorrow I have to do some mission. I'm coming to Tara Puja. I'm coming to Mercy Buddha Puja because I have to do something. It's okay, it's good. Yeah, I'm not saying bad. That's good. Also, take the opportunity to do actions, but usually always keep connect with the Dharma daily life. Then more connection. As an example, for you need to look. And you need to always just keep touch. Not just one day you need that call. That's not really good person. You don't really care. You really need, then you call connection. Then other people, oh, I don't hear you a long time. Now you just calling me because you just need that. Okay, maybe they can help you, but they're not really happy, right? Same. Take Dharma with us, which is that Dharma Sangha, daily life, you can do meditation morning, evening. Okay? You were doing that? You remember yesterday in Buddha Dharma Sangha? What time?
I didn't look at my watch.
You did. But usually now we check refuge and then Samaya or commandment, 3 times in order Buddha Dharma Sangha. Not may say Buddha Dharma Sangha need for us, but we need to more connect for us, more mind. Those things always familiarize for Dharma, then we become very strong. Always. Usually the Tibetan old people, they time to go die, they say, oh, I'm very confident myself. I'm not scared to die. I'm very trust Buddha Dharma Sangha, my mind's relaxed, I'm comfortable, die at my own home. That pretty strong, trust Buddha Dharma Sangha. And their mind they feel Buddha Dharma Sangha behind them, that the mind more relaxed. If your mind more relaxed, then everything go well. Okay? That you get very relaxed on the Zoom. Here, very good the heart. Off, you do it off on.
I think that's on.
That's all.
Yeah.
Good.
Okay.
Okay.
Off, the lights go stronger.
Yeah, that takes a lot of energy. Good. Okay. And what did we talk about last week? Last week, talk about for the generosity. The generosity for the things, physical things, right? That's what that not means you have to give really things to physically, but you need to prepare to your mind, not touch things. Because our mind has a very strong attachment for our possession things. Therefore, don't touch. Even someone asks to give something, you're able to give. You need to develop that kind of thought. Okay? Maybe a little bit discussion, a little bit debate. Last week, I don't know if you guys remember or not. You can hear me?
So we've gone through the discussion on the generosity, with material things, right?
네, 가시에다 무슨 시바탕아 지요와 있나? 아니 아직 그래나 상로요 딱 그랬어. 땅땅 만나봐. 땅상 만나봐. 그놈 만나봐. 지와 계시 그랬어.
So if you are, planning on giving something, some material things, then it is important, to give it in a proper way, like having a good motivation, having a good thought, and giving in the right place. So you should not make mistake in these kind of things. And otherwise, your giving will not become meaningful.
와? 아니지. 좀 강하다에 봐. 대장 아니 무슨 좀 바로 볼래. 그걸로 된데 봐. 투로 쇼서는 내려고 싶다.
So whatever you're giving, you should give with a good thought, with the positive thought, to benefit others. Say, by my giving this, may they be benefited, may their wishes be fulfilled, like that. So with that kind of thought, then you should give.
다 된데 뭐거든. 근데 지나서 막 진짜 나도 내가 제일 봐. 내가 제일 봐. 내가 명이 파지요 말아.
So most of you work, right? There aren't anybody, who doesn't work right here.
디게로야 내 강치와 네 파조가까지 내가 좀 봐. 딱 거면 되라. 아니 지금 배도를 드리기 전에 삼 공부 드리기는 내가 좀 맞아 봐.
And so during those time when you're doing the work, during your job, if you think, may this fulfill the wishes of others, may my job fulfill the wishes of others, may this benefit others, like that. If you think like that and do the job with that kind of thought, then your job, becomes meritorious also.
Right? Do you do injection, people?
I can.
I mean, that's not your job. You're not to give the injection every day.
Not now, thank
And if you nurse, also when you injection, when you do things, that time also take good motivation to feel for that mission to benefit. That becomes generosity. Things you're doing is not belongs to you, but they become generosity. And you offer things. Even you good walk around, you can see beautiful flower. It's also beautiful. Offer for the Dharma Sangha. You see beautiful water and all of that. Everything is getting off. Katongado impena, Jimbalaya,
So you can think of giving, so like giving the things, when you say giving, it is mainly the thought, of giving. So when you give, you can give, the things that you own and things that you don't own also.
Okay.
So there's a very extensive explanation about this. We don't have to go through all of them. Anyway, the next one is the being generous, with dharma. And so it's in the outline 369, if you're looking at the text. So this form of generosity could even be teaching a single 4-line verses of Dharma to someone who wishes to listen. If done with that person's benefit in mind, then even tutoring our pupils in their textbooks is being generous with the Dharma.
Okay.
So if you have a disciple and you're teaching the Dharma to your disciple, then if you give, or if you teach them, with the good motivation, then that can become a generosity of Dharma. And like if somebody asks you, a question about Dharma, what is this about, and how do we, do this, and so forth, can you explain to me? And so if you can explain that, with the good motivation, then that can also become generosity of Dharma.
Okay. 어디 다 되는 대표자는 뭐 제가 내 주지 신바 라마세다 내 주지 치된다 아니 제대 주지 빠진 것이 있고 말해제다 좀 봐, 게제 된 거야나야 근데 제대나 수제대 대셔야 보잡도나 주시면 되겠어.
Like it says here, to do this, you need not be called a lama and give discourses, from the heights of a meditation throne. So if you really, and if you explain, to someone who wants to know, who is curious about Dharma, and wants to know about it, then if you explain it with the good motivation, then that can become a generosity of Dharma. Says the generosity with the Dharma is better than the other forms of generosity. So just like the generosity of Dharma, you can call the generosity of knowledge. So like if somebody who doesn't have the knowledge about something and you explain to them and make them understand that, then that becomes the generosity of knowledge also. And also it says here, also your memorization, recitation, or study of text will become an act of generosity with the Dharma if you imagine yourself to be surrounded by gods who uphold virtue and by all sentient beings who are listening in. And so so this is mostly referring to the form of study that monks do at the monastery, where they memorize the text, so they read the text or they memorize the text by chanting out loud repeatedly, and that by doing that they memorize the text in that way. And also they come in group to do the recitation of the Dharma or of the text, or you're just reciting by yourself at that time. And if you imagine the beings around you who are listening to this, and then this can become also a generosity of Dharma.
Okay, The Shabbat, the Viva, the Chota, the Prochota, Melody, Tikala, the somewhere.
And so likewise, you can think in the same way, here, when we do pujas, when we gather together and do pujas like Tara Puja, Medicine Buddha Puja, and so forth.
Shadano Shoke, the Shoke, Gotuada, and Shumata, Tikal, the Samata Kushamado.
So usually, like when you start the prayer, like in the morning, you start the prayer, and then later you complete it. And then during that time, if you think in that way, that there are people listening to you, and you're giving them, you're reciting for them, or you're giving them the Dharma teaching, then that can become a generosity of Dharma.
Okay, this is easy, right? Easy way. But here we want to read something. Oh, then people think crazy, right? Why they do meditation here? But this is talk for the monastery, the monks. But everyone, like evening, like 3 hours, they have to be walking around, to recite. They already memorized, they have to recite again, otherwise they forgot. Therefore, read everyone. There's one story, right? I think I've already told it many times. Do you remember? Anyone remember? Anyway, one monk reciting tranquility.
So the essence of eloquent speech by Lama Tsongkhapa.
Yeah, this is like maybe 150 pages, the long one. Usually the lot of monks can memorize that. Very special essence teaching. Then it's talk about emptiness. Some monks also doing the reciting time also understand the emptiness, realization. There's some stories. Anyway, the one monk every night, every evening, after the debate finished, they recite on his porch, reciting this text, he memorized. The two pigeons always sleep, the night time, they all uncle. Roof? Yeah, roof, above the room. They're trying. I think that's. Then, after the pigeons die, they become very smart monk because they're very strong influence. But they don't know anything. It doesn't bother. They just they sleep, right? The pigeons there was quiet. Something said, you can listen. They always say something. But then really enjoy the monk reciting that. They put very strong influence in future life. And they born to the very smart monk. The story, there are some of those things, some who have very high realization to understand others' mind, then ask why he's very smart, why he's not that smart. Then this story, okay, because he is very smart, he was born there, he had that influence, then he was born like that. Those things. Remember Rinpoche told the stories last week. This is hard to influence, okay? And also I remember, one insect still on the house. Remember that? Fly. Remember that, right?
Look for the stupa.
Yeah. Remember? Can you say?
Wasn't it somebody who wanted to become a monk and they said he didn't have any virtue, so he couldn't. So I think it was somebody, I don't know, I forget, was one of the monks had Shariputra had,
Okay.
he could see that in all of his past lives, he said, well, how somebody could have no merit in all that time, that's another question, but he had no merit, right? And he said, well, so many lifetimes ago, you were a fly on a dung pile going around and you went around the stupa, and so that was the merit that they did. It was the most basic merit.
You've talked broken. Then one old man, usually people getting old, people don't like that. They abandon. Here is no good to say that they put to go to nursing home. Kids doesn't like. It's go everywhere. People getting old, people doesn't listen them. They're getting old, it's a sorry for the age. It's a age means when you're getting old, mind becomes very small. Our body becomes small, mind becomes very small. Very easy to destroy. Kids doesn't listen, friends doesn't listen. You but like you're but alone, nobody likes you, nobody cares you, right? It's not nature. Always be nice for older people. You smile, happy, they'll be happy. You chat with them, they will be happy. Anyway, this is nature. Then one family has one father. The all kids kick out. He's very disappointed. He was very hardworking to raise his kids. Now he's getting old. The kid doesn't want. Nobody wants. They kick out him. Then he said, "Okay, I want to go to monk." He come to the Buddha's area. He met the Shariputra. The Shariputra said, "Oh, you don't have any merit. Come monk." Shariputra, he has clear voice. Is the three condition the river, motion the tower. Now, this is a pressure. Not just training pressure. Pressure the pressure. I'm going to charge you with me. I'm training pressure. Yeah. I charge it, training check. Go to shoulder. Anyway. Then he wants to touch the then child will say, "Well, child will tell me that she just challenge that. Touch the level. Touch the that is the child. Oh, charge. 내 발라 강가 취재를 취재 뭐감 보세요. 발라 통도. 주로 차세. 뭐 차세야 차세. 차에 오는 취재도 잘해야 되겠다. 차에 오는 다 발라면 올라오면 그런데
मैं बेबो जगह पे बोली हूँ
기보 가네.
भाई जगह नहीं रहा पीरी की चाल सो बेमानी
니 미제.
हाँ
니
मैं
मेल करे.
मैं गोमो सोंड्रो से रे
भाई करे.
भाई देखे गंचे से
भाई भाई जोड़ा या.
या वो दे रहे हैं आगे पोता मासों सज्जन में को लोटा चुका जी से
लोग कच्चे देसा. लोग कच्चे.
कुछ रे वो या
가져서. He's 90 years old.
ongo ando chepeno kawa hase dar mo jindante show mangario
예. 지지권도 민게되네.
dar mo jindante pa ma se yabu no ngale
오래.
ate yabu e ganji de
아이고, 다 아니다. 여러 문제 가려놨다. 너도 신경 고가오. 고마워. 취소시다. 배워치라고 그 말.
oya 저기 텔레폰도 용네
나도 다. 나요.
oya
oye, 체리.
relation 사제 볼로 체보래
야, 부르듯이. 가래. 미가래. 아우, 됐네. 처음이 가래. 배보지 나왔던 머리 조심하라. 아야 뭐래. When he's in his own camp, he's the one of the person who did him to come there. That's all. I think what I jump. Lazarus. He's 90 years old. When he's on skip 1959, he's the one of the person to when he's on this like army. Okay, where are we now?
Shariputra.
Oh yeah. Okay.
We're just talking about the old man.
Old man. I know the one of the person to is that the Lama come from escape from Nabilika to India. They have escaped the night time. big, what is it, the big ocean, lake. No, not lake. Water going down one river, big river. It's not like big river. He's on the other side there. Those guys were in the other side. Nighttime, he's on wearing the lake road. Carrying the some like gun. He told the another bodyguards, okay, everyone just be strong. They think, oh, some guard coming. He's one of the person. They have story maybe English there. He's the one of the person to that time.
Wow.
Let that number to come in there. Wow. Yeah, he's 90 years old. Anyway.
I wish I looked that good when I'm 90.
Yeah.
Let's stay in here.
Take a picture of when
Yeah.
you're
Stay here. The problem is here. But he's, good.
Yeah.
Okay, he's very close to my area. Anyway, Shariputra. Tell you, should not motion the time in Rilpada. Talk about it. He should even talk about it anyway. Pache, that he should even, that make one by the way. Korangajala, Tawachan, Gasa, Sharipu Matawai.
So Shariputra checked, with his clairvoyance, if he has created any merit, in his lifetime or in his previous lifetimes, and so there is the limit, on the clairvoyance also, like because of the nature, because of the time, and so so how long back can you go, to check whether you can see up to that time or not. And then Shariputra could only go back, to certain number of lifetimes, where he has created merit. So as far as he can go, he couldn't see that this old man has created any merit, to be eligible to become a monk.
Then Shariputra, okay, I'm going to become monk. And many merit. Then he was very, very disappointed. But Buddha knew this happened. And he not Shariputra said, okay, please go away. You have no space here. Then he go nowhere, exactly same Buddha walking around that. He said, why are you going back? He said, oh Buddha, please tell me. I want to become monk. Everyone abandon me. Oh, I'm old. Everyone may even Shariputra doesn't want. Then Buddha said, come. Then told the Shariputra, he should become monk. The Shariputra asked, he doesn't have any merit. No, it's very far away. Then Buddha told the story. He was with the fly, and stay on the dog, and the dog dry dog, completely dry. Then the Lord flood that area. The dog, water take the dog, just accident. One circumambulation for the stupa. Water go everywhere, right? That's he has that merit. Then Shariputra said, why I don't see that? It's very, very far away. Therefore, I'm a little better than your story. Shortcut.
Reader's Digest version.
Anyway, why we talk about this is the half of the influence. If we hear this talk about it,
Excuse me.
also take the motivation. Then what? 제자 주의점을 그랬더니 주다 무슨 무슨 소지 제가 과정 좀 봐였나? 아니 딱 뭐다 조마들이 좋아하는 딱 메시지를 여대 했어.
So like it says in the text here, what more need I say about this, except what's it,
주다
except that when earthworms, etc., hear the word of Dharma, it puts virtuous imprint in their mind stream. Think in this way, even when just performing a reading in the home of your benefactors.
아니 종조가 샤워를 근데 싸고 그래서 너는 그냥 신다는 거 너도 배우를 줄이야 미다들 나는 샤프텐체야 출고되는 거 네가 나한테 와서 좀 그래서
like in Tibetan culture, we have the monks coming and performing rituals and in somebody's house. So that house who provide food and drink and even a monetary offering is called benefactors. So when you go to the benefactor's house to perform these kind of rituals, you can even think like that also. So whatever sentient beings around there, when you're reciting, you're giving them Dharma teaching. You can imagine like that.
다 내서 안에 종족값 sabdo 안에 tumba tuji 체질라 차지가 탑서 안에 상마 소반데 나지 종소로 지네 네 소도 지금 고려나 데려야 되지는 모르겠어. 정말 재미없지.
So in the rituals there are like the tantric rituals that is performed during the time of the puja when you are doing for the on behalf of the benefactors. So those tantric rituals, so he says the tantra practice, is taught by Buddha as a means to achieve enlightenment in one lifetime. But if you just use that to get some offerings, it's like the monetary offerings and so forth, then that is making not a good use of the Dharma. So like he says here, you have to be particularly careful when you go into the village to perform ritual. Our compassionate teacher taught the secret tantra as a means of gaining enlightenment in one rebirth. If you exchange this for the gift received from performing these rituals, you have sold the Dharma for material goods.
Okay.
So this is this is at a risk for like monks and people who go do rituals in people's house. But for you guys, you don't have this risk.
안에 대가르나 안에 자부처라 되네. 안에 자부를 맞춰줘다 더 계제되고 집어내서.
And then he says this is like dragging a king off his throne and forcing him to sweep the floor.
다 셔를 중국도 따지면서 다시 나다 추들이 나도 지금 내 따지면 대만 파트 깨제시지 아지 깨제 트레이닝 미 파줘질 추 바자샤도 와이나 안 지나 주시면 그래서.
So do this rituals with the right motivation. And it says being generous with the Dharma does not just mean teaching informally. It could also mean using your conversation and so forth as a direct or indirect means of leading others to the Dharma. So if you do that, then that becomes Dharma and a generosity of Dharma.
Okay? Just therefore, I'm usually talk when you guys for something meet, not how to force the other person, convince them. Let's talk about luck, positive benefit to good things to do. Then the person, why do they talk about? Who they talk? Can I explain? Through that, also we can bring some people to get married. Okay? Watch it. 제다다 랍도 shuma도 땅도 랍조도 침마냐 랍도 shuma도 침마야 수 간나니 주지심마다 그래서.
And it says among the people like the ordained, for the ordained, the best practice is the practice of the generosity of Dharma.
대다다 대 강하나 주나다 상득이 셔보나 좀 따쳐다나 이바나 아니 상득이 셔반도 또 침바 셔변다 주지심마도 또 랍조미 심이냐네 또 그래서.
And then on top of that, also, if you have material things that you can give away, you can practice that as well. So among these two, the generosity of Dharma is for the monks. Main practice of the generosity is the generosity of Dharma, and the generosity of the material thing, is mainly for the layperson, but of course can be done by both, both kind of practices.
제가 까대면 기시 까라베다 아니 괜찮아요. 또 편이 시작이면서 근데 님이 저거여서 다 네가 간다 했잖아. 네 지금 자득이 셴바데 내가 또 말해서 또다 주지 셴바다 그래서.
So he says, however, the Kadamba Geshe Sharawa once said to a group of ordained, I'm not going to speak about the benefits of giving things away, for I have already told you the drawbacks of grasping.
Okay? Now what we learn here? Whenever we do pray, you pray your home, you just be quiet or you learn loud. Usually you pray, you should have to pray. You can hear yourself. That's very good. salt. Salt you don't really read, you just go to market. You can hear it. Other people doesn't hear that, you can hear your own one. Any prayer you can do, you can try to do, you hear. You don't have to hear your neighbors. You can hear that can pray is good. There also Lord, something we don't see as a beings next to with us. You think those are motivation for benefit for them. They hear, they can benefit. Like that, okay? What we learn here today, special for the generosity for Dharma, what you learn?
Well, that it's, an attitude, and that, that's the most important thing. Like, because we talked about it the last class, that you can be generous, but there's still poverty in the world. There's still going to be ignorance in the world, but it's your attitude that it's in everything you do. It's the intent. It's a pure intent to have that generosity. So even when you're reading, I mean, if you have the intent to be generous with the Dharma to any beings or insects or whatever, it's the intent that matters.
Generosity is better to give teaching, better to give the Dharma than to give material things.
Formal generosity could be material, but also Dharma. That's the second one.
First one is a Madhupana.
So even if you don't have material things to give it away directly, but most important thing is to have the thought to give. So you have to train in having that thought to give, so that when you have the things, then you'll be able to give it without any sense of miserliness. And then that's about the material things, right? So, and then the generosity of the Dharma will be like, explaining about that. Of course, that's the Dharma, but even like when you're reciting texts, or teaching, reading or teaching books, then imagine that's all these the gods who uphold the Dharma and other sentient beings around you, and they're listening to you. And that's where, if you think in that way and recite, then that becomes the Dharma, generosity of Dharma.
Okay? Then usually when we use Hukuman Pemo, not just read the mind, read a little bit loud. You can hear yourself. That's good for. Okay? And a story told all the monks, you can go to all the time. This is a monastery. All the monks here just very noisy. Everyone reciting, all different, not same. This people there, which is talking about for the monastery monks. Doing that, if you have good motivation, they become happy. Swaramji, always remember when he sees birds, dogs, anything is a woman being recite very loud some mantras, right? If you hear, okay, stay you play, because this is not just, we all can do that. Sometimes we say, oh, only the monks can do, not like that. Everyone. Of course, some here in the you need to some permissions. But lot of mantras, things, everyone can do, right? Everyone action, you can see them is a drop is a moment by moment. Just here they can hear influence. We believe the influence. Okay? We learn those things, right? It is simple things. Usually maybe we don't do, but now so tomorrow you don't have to do all the time pray time. You can for the motivation. Okay, what I'm going to do right now today pray. Who's around with me? Who can hear? The future knowledge. Okay? So you go walk, you go to job, whatever you do something when you also generosity for them. I wish for, feel for what I do today for them. Your doctor, a nurse, anything. Okay? But you put them new from the truth. Any patient, but they really tiny at the needles, really tiny. Doesn't be very, very scared. Anyway, okay? More things we learn. Then now what? That's what? Although Shimbal Sumir, what? Sanzi Shimba, Chuji Shimba, Majiba Tabji Shimbas.
So now the third one is what? The giving others the fearlessness, right? So generosity of giving others the fearlessness or the protection.
Jaya Torani, Dumar, Tonin do Padam. Chi Chawa Tele, do Patava. Yaji Tisa, Baso Tadon, Joba Sojam, Majiba Jeju Shimbayans. That the Momodoa, and do not Chedo Credo.
So then it says that this could be, for example, liberating prisoners from jail or rescuing the drowning, and even saving creatures such as earthworms, from heat in the summer or cold in winter is a form of this type of generosity. And so you see, this is the generosity of giving the fearlessness, or protection. And so which of these you think you can do?
Majiba Tabji Shimba Chijaba, Jeremuni Mokova, Liji, Shutache, and the US.
It says you do not have to go far to practice this generosity of bestowing fearlessness. You can do it with the lies on your body.
Where's the lie? Where's the lie? Who knows
Well, I
lie?
mean, lice.
You know lies?
I know what it is. Yeah, I've never had it. No,
You have that?
lice.
Oh, light.
Yeah.
Who has? You guys there, man? You had that? Yeah. I was a kid, lot of lies. Like really. But we don't have that. Lies when you check very clean, maybe they don't come. We never wash our clothes. Well, of course, what they said. Lot of lies here. We have a lot of things to do. Protection codes, all the lies, the different babies. Yeah, a lot of lies.
Eggs. Eggs, lice eggs.
Yeah, lies, eggs. But you guys don't have that. But here, maybe mosquitoes. But we kill them,
I
right?
feel like in elementary school,
Just get like,
the teachers would take everybody's hair and look
yeah.
through it with a comb to see if you had.
They used to take the picks, like go through your hair.
Yeah, in Tibetan to do like that, all the amalas, it's very bad, They will kill you, they just kill them. Kids have a lot less in here. The amalas always kill them. And they try to clean up, but you take the stuck in the hair, very difficult. 제자, 니나라 다 내가 가르고 있는 소소라 와딩이 소소라 따딩이 샘제 들어들어 요바나 또 칼라 저 자들 제거에 빼는 것도.
So this one also here mentions that if you have animals that you're looking after, taking care of, then it's very important to make sure to feed them well.
너는 마부 칼라 조자 때문에 당대 가 마부 도장 더는 마부죠.
So here, Geshe say he noticed that many people don't give them, ample food, food that's enough to fill their stomach.
엔텔라야 시커 제대시야 다 칼라 마부잖아요. 나이 물어야 돼. 잡아주면 잘해야 돼. 제대시야 돼. 같이 조건 자야지 되거든요.
So they also have explanation to not feed to fill their stomach, because they said if they eat too much, then they can become sick, they can get fat, and so forth. They have various reasons to explain about it, but it is important to give them enough, so that they don't go hungry.
Okay, I think I'm to check that. Then she met on the kind of time to watch the camera.
So freeing somebody from the prison, of course, we don't have that power, right?
Okay, what we can do here? Any other things? You can save some birds, some worms. If they come here, we just difficult. Anyway, something I can do anything here. And then Li Jishu Tajo, Socho Chi Chawas and Nobatawana, Labe, Butamde, Bakuba, up in Doji, Simji Chana with the Kaya Nata, not the Lela Locho, but no Lela or Nambu, Doji, Susan Pass, drove it to become a young child to stop the other.
And like it says, also saving insects, from drowning, for example, is very easy to do. It only involves moving one of your hands. And so this is very easy, you can do this practice of the generosity of protection.
And Lojong Kabja, Pong, yes.
And then it says the visualization of giving found in the section dealing, with the practice of mind training is a practice of generosity too.
Tadi Kane, Lojong Kabja, Pong,
So in the practice of the mind training, where you imagine giving, right? Giving, and taking, where you give, when you give, that also becomes a practice of generosity, right? So how does that become like giving, like giving virtues, giving, good health and so forth, long life and so forth, giving like that, those. Now, how does that become practice of generosity?
Non-attachment and giving.
How to do that?
To
How to do the practice?
give,
Yeah.
the offering, the saving.
Here the Nilla and the Lojong, Ponic Yamma, take up the time about the Yanshi Mayamara. They can't eat the Kanichi, Chetan the Canadians.
So like, here it talks about the practice of giving, right? And in the mind training. And so at that time you are giving, right? So you're giving, doing the practice, of giving, and that's also, it says here, that's also a form of a practice of generosity. And so, so here, the giving, what do you give and how do you give?
Oh, what it means.
I understand the question.
Yeah.
How do you give? What do you give when you're doing the practice of giving in the mind training?
Hello. Hello. You just come to see here. Come inside. Look all down. Are you Tibetan?
I'm not.
Where are you from?
I'm from Taiwan.
Oh, yeah, come inside, walk around. Or you'll have to stay there a little bit. Yes. Yeah, please sit. Yeah. How you say? Yes. What do you mean that?
Well, I don't know if I'm right, but what I was reading is that truly, when you're giving, you have to realize
It's all right. You don't need to.
you're empty, the person you're giving it to is empty, and the object is empty. So that is the true bodhicitta aim.
Lojong comes to Tony Yan Kanichi.
So is what Geshe-la's question is, what do you give and how do you give? And in the practice of giving and during the mind training practice, in the mind training practice where you do the practice of giving and taking, when you do the giving, what do you give and how do you give?
Give
You
you
understand
happiness,
the question now?
all your positive, you take away people's sufferings mentally, and then you give them all of your positivity.
That's good. That's good. Okay, like that. This is he talk about. This talk about here then. Okay. 제가 드니가 똥이 셰지 똥을 틀려면 수수고 랭아였어. 개왜 레비 시작하면 파타마디 딱 지배냐면로 그래서.
Yeah, so that's how you do the practice of giving and taking. When you do the practice of giving and taking in the mind training, you imagine, taking all the sufferings and all the sickness, all the obscurations, from sentient beings upon yourself, and you imagine giving all your virtues and all your goodnesses and the realizations, towards sentient beings. So that's how you do the giving, and taking practice in the mind training.
Okay. It's easy right now. You got it right. What it means. 어찌다 아니 식당 그 신비 파시에서 나가려는 나다 쉬는 거.
Yeah, so just like it is said, engaging in the deeds in the Bodhisattva tells us fundamentally what the perfection of generosity is.
Okay. 다들 준비 양에도 가르나 안에 가테와 공부와 준비 바로 신이나 다들 조금 가래 준비 발전해야 돼. ਸਮਝ 파초를 안에 지금 문봉 동안 마세바도 조금 해봐나 근데 좀 말해서 온다.
It says, if the perfection of generosity were ridding all beings of poverty, how would the previous protectors, the Buddhas, have perfected it? Since even now the poor exist, and so this, like it says here, you don't have to get rid of all the poverty, in order to complete the perfection or the practice of generosity.
샘질을 봤던 것 같은 지금 대답하니 여러 다좀 받으라 이마 여러나야 나한테 아니 지금 세나면 봐 강가방 되게 니빠도 요래했어.
And as in other words, the generosity cannot be merely ridding sentient beings of poverty, nor can it be freedom from miserliness, since the Sarvakas, Patek Buddha, and Arhats have this.
다디 처음은 안에 쇼주로 들어. 너가 탐저 자제대 지오가나 따슴지 집에 바로 신다데. 대대되는 셈녀도 오스.
And then the engaging in the deeds of the Bodhisattva, says, they say the perfection of generosity is the state of mind that gives to all beings all your possessions and all your karmic fruits. Thus, generosity must be mental.
에? 어제 다 네가 채워가는 줬어.
So what do you see the difference now?
저 땅 같은 정말 땅 같은 신발도 집에 받쳐 두고 말했어. 이래 나 가르고 올라서.
So just merely giving is not the perfection of giving, right? So on top of that, what do you need to make it perfection of generosity?
우리 가이드 받아서 보세요.
Take the other stuff for
Okay. How you guys see any difference?
The wish to give,
Okay.
perfecting the wish to give. And then when the opportunity to give happens, we'll give freely.
Okay.
Giving without attachment,
Okay.
being free from attachment when you give.
Do you understand anything for the guide to the Bodhisattva's quotation? What's here? What they say? We understand it. How are you guys? Zoom people.
Yeah, it says that it's a state of mind imbued with bodhicitta motivation.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, what Bob said, I think that's correct, right? 제자 니 시소마다 폐야다 님루 사비에 거네 랑가 리롱 쇼 개사나 세나 메파 니타베나 따윈 데오다 체바 제나 통비 루콤바 용수도 바나 지비 파르데 신 파신도 송바라 통신 빼바나 담바데스.
And so this says that the perfection of generosity is a complete familiarity with the thought of giving your body, possessions, root merits, and all karmic results to others. And it means giving these things from the very depth of your heart without any miserliness, while thinking about the various benefits of giving sincerely and the drawbacks of not doing so.
Okay? 다들 남아야 수가 간지 딸로라 공부하고 대중 가르쳐서 되는 가르쳐서 되는.
And so this is the best instruction. So main thing is to familiarize, with the thought, of giving, right? So do you understand that?
You don't have to give things, okay? But this is the most part. Do you have to give? It's not, but you need to really wishes or like how is that? Familiarize to that thought. Okay? and 당화지 앞에다 대레스 다 죽었음 따워 umbolai 로마나 대마다 뽕님이 로터치바 단디 추선다 또 자와서나 나 죽어 남선 자외가 남은 죽어 남도 돼야 돼 가지고 이제 줘 버려 다 되는 거지나 때 소야겠다 뽕을 공부를 해서
So it says, thus, the important point being made here is that you should increase your thoughts of giving, not actual giving, but thoughts of giving, right? So if a beggar asks you for, so you can, of course, with that thought, then you can give, right? So give anything you can afford to give. So here it's telling what not to give. And if a beggar asks you for your 3 monks' robes, say, and you immediately think, and should I risk in giving them away? This is an outcome of familiarity with the being generous. So if the chogosim te tejo marso
나 때요 말지. 오늘 때만 다 토야가 상반고 그래서.
So if someone were to ask you for the 3 robes, this is okay. So mainly for the monks, right? So if someone were to ask monk, their robe, to give away, then they should not give. They should not give their robes, but they should have the courage to give away if they were, but thought, to give away. So it means like they should not be clinging to it, should not have any miserliness, to give it away, but in reality, they should not give, to others.
오케이. 다전에 장만 배다 말아서 나 다대절라 아니 소소 배다. 쏘다 또 좋은 말에 또 좋은 말 때, 사실 좋은 말에 되고 뒤에마다 또 좋은 말이지.
And so, I mean, you have to, develop the mind that, is willing to give, but, so should not give. So similarly, and then it's talking about your life, you should not, if you have not reached to that level, then you should not give away your life.
오케이. 오케이. 다들 시 공부하는 시 름니 다 동토가지고 다 동벨로도 간다 가는 이마 라니 시위까스 노제남 지장 제제메 봐 헤들리데 추도전도와 소 마타비처럼 삼스타데 마타바고 그래서.
And so you will eventually be able to sacrifice even your body up to training yourself in the lower level of generosity until you reach such a level of familiarity, increase your thoughts of giving. So not actually engage in the practice, in the giving, but just the thought of giving. This is how you increase such thoughts. Contemplate how all things are impermanent. So now you have to think about, in impermanent. And when you die, you will not take a single item of your property with you. Those things you leave behind will then fall into decay, etc.
오케이. 나가는 공작이다. 다도 공작이다.
Because them with your others, from the very depth of your heart. So now we're going to do a little bit of meditation on here.
어디서 막 들어가지 돼. 아무도 시비 가는 모두 가르쳐야 돼.
So the question for you guys, what can we take when we die? What can we take with us when we die?
Out to the Dharma.
Even according to Buddhism, we cannot take with body, right? The body for the boss. We say our mind go a different direction. Okay, it's true.
Maybe karmic imprints.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Even but we don't really. Here we overthink our position in this life. We're fighting for our thoughts. We're fighting for our views. We're working hard for all our positions, right? Try to protect them, try to save them. It's to touch. That's how to develop your very strong generosity. There's a main thing you need to meditation. Impermanent. Then how? Okay, when time to die, I cannot take anything with me. You need to. It's all have to leave. Think that more and more and more and more. Just keep that. Then your mind has less attachment. That you are less attachment. That then you're able to give up that. We can see that something we don't really touch. Someone asks, oh yeah, I thought, yeah, someone that you can take anything you want. They say, okay, what are you going to take me there? Okay, this is could be that. This we can see that. And someone says, okay, can I take something in your bag? Yeah, you can take anything over there. Because we don't really touch man. Then, there's some very beautiful flower. Don't take that one. Touch that. Because this is the main thing, this difference how you don't touch. If you touch, there are also some people, even the monks, They very love to, the Tibetan tea has a lot of butter. In Tibetan, there are a lot of butter tea. Tea, a lot of butter from their love. Some monks really love that. One monk also touch very strong their tea always. That means the moment he died, tea, mind, touch that. What's that? Butter. He born back to the womb, to his own car. You understand?
He came back as what?
Womb.
Oh, worm?
Yeah.
What, in his cup?
Yeah, his cup.
Oh, okay.
Because with very strong touch, his on his cup, the tea, butter tea. They will touch with everything. They will always say, very important to don't touch. Okay? Are we going to meditation? Okay? You can meditation, anything can force and another meditation, anything you can take with you, your possessions. Okay? Your worldly things, your house things, anything you see all the time, you can touch all the time. Oh, this is mine, don't touch that. This is mine, don't do that. I live yesterday, my things here. Today they move. What? Okay, we do that, right? Things all we can take something with us. There's another meditation, okay? After we like say, I cannot do anything, then you we meditation to concentration. Definitely, I cannot take anything right now with me. Therefore, I don't have any attachment. There's nothing way to touch. Okay? We meditation first, analytical, then concentration. Okay? Okay. After. Okay? Good. Give up your attachment for things.
Give away my motorcycle yesterday.
Okay, this is going to meditate. I'm going to we're going to recite one mala a month now. Everyone reciting loudly, okay? This is how to we also motivation thing. Who can hear my voice, influence for their mind to that now, okay? Then motivation, recite them. That's how I taught to exercise for you guys. You guys, okay, Geshe does do something. I don't know how. When I can start. Where start? You can learn. Not you can any place, okay? Remember before that the monks reciting the text, they become you can hear, think all the virtues. How to say? Kasho,
The gods who uphold Dharma.
yeah, even that, and also anyone looking here, even for them. Okay, everyone got it? We think what we think. Who hears my voice? Hope they can get influence for this month. Okay, then motivation, reciting. It becomes generosity. Okay. Okay, that's good. That prayer, okay? Any kind of prayers, whatever you do, is you generous to others. The motivation also. You need motivation. Who hears, hope they can get influence. Okay? Any questions? What new what
Geshe,
yes,
I have a question. With you said with the Tonglen, with the taking and giving meditation, we are training the mind to be generous. I've often wondered, in that meditation, we're not actually taking and giving suffering? The primary purpose is just to visualize the generosity, or are we actually, generating something in reality that is connecting us to others? You see what I'm asking?
반복해서 동서 빼기 샘나 성모당 이거 했어. 아니 슈마탄 원에 대 곰하고 저는 원에 동서 봐요 그래.
So yeah, at the beginning you just train in the thought of giving and taking, but then as you become more and more familiar, when you are very familiar with that, then you will be able to actually give and take.
전남편의 수수급이 대화 랩박 개위 좀 강해보다 전화 수수급은 따와 영 키로만은 수수급 샘 침모 바라고 샘이 침모 잘.
And so here you imagine giving, so you're doing the visualization of giving your possession, giving your body, giving your, the root virtue and things, like that. You're imagining, so when you become more and more familiar with that, when your mind is accustomed with that, then when you reach to the point, where you'll be able to give. Of course, you can't give your the root virtue like physical things, but you can give your body, you can give your possessions. Actually, in the reality, not just in thought, but in reality, you can give them. You'll be when you reach to that point, then you'll be able to give. Yes. So you give, without any sense of miserliness, without any attachment. And so when you have done that, then you have perfected the practice of generosity.
Okay, what is first two verses to the generosity for the generosity for the Kurukulla Guru Puja. Generosity.
What was the question?
So what is the first two verse, the first two line of that verse of generosity in Guru Puja?
I seek your blessing to give without attachment.
No, to complete the perfection of generosity through the guideline teachings of increasing the mind that gives without attachment.
So it says what so this is your body, your possession, and the merits of the three times. So like the merits that you created in the past, the one that you're creating now, and you'll be creating in the future. So all these, you have to give, without any sense of attachment, in a form, that fulfills all their wishes.
Okay.
That's the third line.
Okay, 도저히 셈이 보여요. 근데 다 셈보다는 제 셈들라 지금 제와 샤바 가지 슈치는 소리가 동성이야.
Yeah, so you train in this way, by thinking like that, thinking of giving things in that way, and then of course that comes with the compassion and love, for others. So how much strong, love and compassion you have, that much more you will be willing to give to them.
Example, now Katie is that she has two boys. And one boy said, "Mom, can I have your?" Maybe the doctor said, "Okay, you need to give your one finger to your thumb." She said, "Okay." She doesn't say, "Oh, maybe I'm not." Can you able to do that? Really, I think they can. Right now you said that. They said, "Oh, you need to give your finger to your thumb." They say, he said, "Oh, I can do that." Remember, I told you the one lady. The doctor said, "Oh, we going to save you or your children?" She said, "Save my children." Because from the love, compassion, was very strong. Okay? Any questions? Any other questions? Okay, Ascora, did I give you question answer?
Steve, yeah, thank you.
Okay, good. Yes.
I just want to make sure I understood the part for the monks when they're giving, when they do a tantric ritual. So it was only saying that when they go to do it, they have to have the thought that they're giving it freely and not to get something in return. But the reality is they know that people will give them something usually. Well, usually people will make offerings, right?
Yeah.
So, but it's not saying don't go if somebody's going to give you offerings. It's saying don't go with the thought, I'm going to get offerings.
Yeah, that's wrong.
Yeah.
This is, you can't do that. That's very, very bad. This is not good motivation. But people also have to give them something. You get the Dharma, you also doesn't get the offering, you don't get also benefit. You just taking free food. It's not nice, right? Like people get free food. That is. The teacher also cannot motivation. Okay, I'm going to teach you do something, then they will give me some offering. Totally wrong. Totally wrong. One motivation to, especially in our like money or something like that, gift. True motivation to, I'm going to give some influence for Dharma, the students, and for all other subjects. That motivation, then you offer a student also that offer, the student also will offer some food, you get 2 minutes. And master eat, offer you got bread, offer you got food. Offer the statues, they only the offer for offer merit, not eating, because statue doesn't drink the water. But you get the merit for the offer. Like this, maybe they're missing. Anyway, the teachers have motivation, monks, nuns have motivation. I do something, they will get this totally wrong. That's the here, don't use it like that. You making the money to Dharma, you said you go the king's chair, do the now. I call sweep. Therefore, don't use Dharma that way. But they will call for them to come pray, call you to go pray, but not to get something. If they accept, they give, you ought to also accept. Also, you could good opportunity for them to also carry the merit. Is it clear? Okay.
I was just thinking that even in a worldly sense, to not give with expectation.
Yeah.
Just.
Yeah, better to not expectation.
Yeah.
Any kind. If your expectation is very bad. Your expectation, they don't do that, be very, very bad.
Geshe, can I ask a question?
Yes.
Last week we were talking about that whole idea about practicing giving without an expectation or any karmic ripening effects. But I did some reading in the Lamrim Chenmo, and it said that that you do not hope for the fruition of an excellent body and resources in future lives, but you give because you see that all composite things are without substance, but can contribute to unexcelled enlightenment. So it says you're giving for unexcelled enlightenment, but it says also this does not stop you from expecting these results in the short term, but it stops you from taking the mere body and resources of cyclic existence to be your goal. So it still says that you do expect the short term meritorious or karmic fruitions, but I guess because it's dedicated toward the longer goal, that's okay.
No. Ora, that is what my tamazo 가서 레와 지겨 말했어. 먼저 가르치 빨빨 진변이 없는데 제발 안 되는 레와 지겨 말했어. 더수 미치고 라이언스 레와 지겨 말는데 디기다 가서 레기 데부기 레와 대 지겨 말. 데부기 레와 대 지겨 말했어. 그래서 이나 당가족이 다 진변이 없는 제발 이나된 디게 되는 가서 지 레와 된 거라 맞아. 데라데는 가 상게 토레 상게 응에 디치고 그랬어. 상게 여기 레와 지고라. 근데 데부 레와 지고라스. The dinner she didn't have that because never be watch grass. The nature wearing a then Casa Yamla which to Casa Lambert Ingress and then the Yaburis and then the watch or check us.
That day, I also get to the job and Sanjo Combato, the Yamla Counter, what the young Semji Janichi in something. That took the order. It didn't matter what the color.
So yeah, I mean, you can have the expectation as long as it is for the benefit of others, So, okay, if I do this practice, I can gain enlightenment. If I gain enlightenment, I can benefit others. And so therefore, I should do this practice like this. That kind of expectation, of course, yes, you can have. You don't. It is very difficult, to not have an expectation when you do the practice.
I mean, this specifically says expecting short-term results, of like perfect human rebirth with results. But I guess what it's saying as an intermediate step, it's in the section on what kind of motivation must be eliminated, and it lists 7 motivations, and then it says what motivation you can have. But anyways, I think I understand.
penata 달조 된서 도박이 쳐드는 게 지금 잠래 지게 라바이나 어디 지금 들었는데 달조 된서 달조 된칭이 되는 것서 된서 도박이나 되는 최최 도래되는 되는 사람들 내가 그때 되네 이나다 뭐 디날 남리 처문하나 삼로 가래 개지어 말았어 삼로 든 기지어 말았어 삼로 가르가 기지어 말았어 삼로 든데 셰샤사
제가 딱 태와 친구 냠내 친이나 이렇게 해요 말을 라버래 되는 다 모두 되게 깔끔하고 잘해.
So yeah, I mean, you are not directly expecting that. You're not directly thinking that, oh, for this reason, but it comes, by that, and then if that comes, then that's good. That can be also used, for the benefit of others. So of course, it is, for a higher level of practitioners who can think in that. But for us, it's very difficult, to not have any expectation.
제가 나도 그렇지 강체화된 지대 치료도 슈청문을 때 그래는 되겠다.
And so in our case, of course, it's always mixed with the 8 worldly concerns. Maybe not very strong or very obvious, but in some way, in a little way, it is mixed with the 8 worldly concerns.
Okay? 제가 이나다 제와도 맞으면 제와가 was.
So even if with the expectation, it's still better to do it than not doing it at all.
Okay? Therefore, 들리 something 소소 가관도 소소 되는 subject 따다된 틱셀에도 파 가고는 됐다야.
And so, and then also to be aware of where one is, if one is having that kind of thought or not, and whether one's motivation is falling into that section or not.
제다만도 아니 지금 디바크 지고 많은 지도 얘들 꾸지 셔서 제 젬페가 something 선사바이나 그 축치 못 잡고 가.
And then also, whatever you are doing is always to do it with thought to benefit others by cherishing others. So if you do with the thought to cherish others, then that always becomes good. Yeah, and that's the doorway to all the happiness, and then cherishing oneself is doorway to all the torments.
Okay, and also 내가 무슨 company 내가 지금 불라 소설 보라 뒤돌아.
So it's it's like when you're doing a job for the company, and even though what you're doing benefits them, but ultimately it benefits you by getting the wages.
Like that. Okay. It makes sense. Okay. Then we can start. The next week we go to the what we can get. Who can give, what can give, what we not give, who will not give, just up bottom there, okay? Therefore, Buddha doesn't say you have to give anything. Therefore, limit. Okay? Yes, Chantu Master.
All right, turn to page 39 of the prayer book. When we come to the short, long life prayer for Lama Zopa, we end it by just saying, please return. Okay. Sashi From my two collections, vast in space, that I have amassed from working with ever-descent practice for a great length of time, may I become the chief leading Buddha for all those whose minds wisdom lies blinded by ignorance. Even if I may not reach this state, may I be held in your love and compassion for all my lives and Trishri. May I find the best and complete grading paths of the teachings, and may I please all the Buddhas by practicing. Using skillful means drawn by the strong force of compassion, may I clear the darkness from the minds of all beings. With the points of the path as I have discerned them, may I uphold Buddhist teachings for a very long time. With my heart going out with great compassion in whatever direction the most precious teachings have not yet spread or once spread have regard, may I reveal this treasure of happiness and aid. May the minds of those who wish for liberation be granted darkness peace, and the Buddhist deeds be nourished for a long time. Even this great course to enlightenment completed, due to the wondrous virtuous conduct of the Buddhas and their children. May all human and non-human beings who eliminate adversity and make things conducive for practicing the excellent paths never be parted in any of their lives from the purest path praised by the Buddhas. Whenever someone makes an effort to act in accordance with the tenfold Mahayana virtuous practices, may they always be assisted by the mighty ones, and may oceans of prosperity spread everywhere. In that snow mountain encirclement, source of every benefit and joy, may Lord Tenzin Gyatso Chenrezig remain in life till samsara's end. Savior of the snowland teachings and transmigratory beings, who extensively clarifies the path that unifies emptiness and compassion, to the lotus in the hand, the Lord Tenzin Gyatso, I beseech, may all your holy wishes be fulfilled. Page 49. You who uphold the subduer's moral way, who serve as the bountiful bearer of all, sustaining, preserving, and spreading Majesty's victorious doctrine, who masterfully accomplishes magnificent prayers honoring the three jewels, Savior of myself and others, please return swiftly. Your form embodies all Buddhas, your nature is that of Vajradhara. You are the root of the three jewels. Homage to you, O Gurus. In short, I seek your blessings, O protector, to be cared for by you, earned unremittingly throughout all my lives, and thus to become your chief disciple, holding every secret of your body, speech, and mind. O protector, please grant that all be auspicious for me to be foremost among your very first circle of disciples wherever you manifest Buddhahood, so that all my temporal and ultimate wishes without exception may be effortlessly and spontaneously fulfilled. In all my lives, never separated from perfect Gurus, may I enjoy the magnificent Dharma by completing the qualities of the stages of the past. May I quickly attain the state of Vajradhara. Furthermore, in life after life, may I please in him in return, be forever fostered by an accomplished Mahayana spiritual master, the source of every virtue of this world and beyond. In his care may I acquire from him a firm, unshakable faith, pleasing him by every means possible, doing nothing even for an instant to disappoint. May my spiritual master impart to me every instruction and every teaching in its entirety. Having understood them faultlessly, may I practice them and be able to bring them to perfection. May I never even fall under the sway of malevolent teachers and misleading friends. Having developed in every life belief in cause and effect, renunciation, the Bodhi mind, and the pure view, may I embark upon them continually with effortless experience.
Every
virtuous act gathered by way of body, speech, and mind, be causes solely for the welfare of others and for the purest and highest enlightenment. Page 57 for your dedication. Through this virtue may I swiftly, having gained the state, place each and every second me, without exception, in that state. Precious supreme Bodhi mind, may it where unborn arise, and where born never decline, but increase forevermore. And on page 75.
Thank you, everyone. So physically come here. Also, I can physically you can see here. Thank you. Good day.
Thank you, Geshe. Thank you, Damchala.
Thank you, Geshe.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Geshe.
Damsha. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.